Hi Jeannie, welcome to another session. Today let's get centered, seated like we typically do, and we'll get comfy, cozy. I don't think we need any props today. You might have maybe a pillow for when we do some of our recline twists, but I think that's pretty basic. So, all right, let's get seated cross-legged, and we'll rest our hands on our knees, either facing up or down, it doesn't really matter, or maybe folded in the lap, and we'll close the eyes and we'll scan the body to feel out how it's doing today. And let's take a few breaths together. Let's empty out all the way. And then refill from the nose. Filling all the way up, breath from the belly to the throat. And we'll let it out the mouth. Nice and slow, pressing navel into spine. Let's do the same thing. On the inhale, pushing the belly button out. Filling up to the top. Open the mouth, let it go. Back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Sealing the lips, inhaling. Opening, letting go. Last one, in. And out. Nice. Let's begin to sync the breath with the body. So we'll grab a hold of our knees. Let's curl the chin into the chest. We'll empty out the breath as we curl the spine, rounding in. On the inhale, we'll begin to straighten up, arching our back just a little bit, maybe facing up towards the ceiling. We'll exhale, curl it in. Feeling the separation of the shoulder blades. Inhale, we'll bring it back up. Shoulders away from the ears, nice long neck. Last one, same thing. Seated cat. Inhaling, seated cow. And let's bring ourselves to neutral. We'll just do another just a little easy neck opener. It's always good to kind of open up the neck. So right ear to right shoulder. We'll drop the chin to the center. Nice and slow. Left ear to left shoulder. And we'll go back the other way. Back to center. Now take some time to stop at one position if it feels good, or find that kind of fluid motion in the neck. Take one more, even it out. And we'll find ourselves back with neutral, head to center. Let's do a little shoulder warm up, So let's bring the hands to the shoulders. Now we'll begin to kind of do some little circles with the elbows, making kind of bat wings or something like that. And then gradually increase the size of our circles. We'll switch directions here in a second. So these can be slow and controlled motions, trying to make the rotation full and complete and circular. Let's go the other way. We'll just start with the big circles and then work our way back into small circles, changing directions. Now we'll make our hands into cactus arms. We've done this 1,000 times. So really splay the fingers, and we'll press the palms back as far as they go, keeping our elbows at that right angle, and then we'll turn the palms fingers downwards towards the floor, and then pressing palms backwards again. So inhaling back up, faces of the hands, top of the hand goes back. Exhale, fingers down, palms go back. Let's do the same thing one more time. Fingers up. And exhale, fingers down. Let's bring the hands back up to the start of our cactus here. And we'll just bring the hands over the head, locking elbows into the shape they're in. So maybe just tapping the hands at the top, and let's exhale, squeeze the shoulders down and away from the ears, elbows down towards the floor. Now we'll squeeze back up to the top, switching the placement of the hand, so maybe other hand in front this time. And then exhale, squeezing elbows again, feeling an opening broadness through the collarbones. Same thing one more time. Inhaling, hands up to touch the top of the head. And then exhaling, squeezing elbows down. Nice, let's make the arms long and straight, finding that wingspan. We'll bring the backs of the hands closer together again. And let's exhale, give ourselves a hug, rounding in, grounding the shoulders, our hands around the shoulders. On the inhale, we'll open, back up again, nice and wide. Exhale, give yourself a hug. All right, we'll float the hands down. Let's do a little seated bridge. So most of the rest of the class we're going to spend on our back. So we'll find ourselves on our back, knees up to the sky, feet grounded. Getting a little core work in, first glute work. So we'll find our feet in line with our hips and our shoulders, okay? Feeling our toes nice and gripped into the ground. Let's begin to do a bridge. So we'll press up into our feet pressing down. The hips go up to the ceiling. Our face stays nice and neutral and in line with our spine. We'll exhale straight back down. Our hands can be pressing down flat against the floor right by our hips. On the inhale, we'll press into the feet, inhaling hips up a little bit, and then exhale straight back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Pushing into the feet, lifting the hips, squeezing the glutes, exhale, let it go. 2 more. Squeezing the thighs together to keep our knees in line with our hips. We'll exhale it back down. Last one, bridge it up. And exhale, we'll let it down. All right, so let's let go of the muscles in our thighs and in our butt. So we'll come into our core work now. So let's bring the knees at a 90-degree angle, and then we'll point the toes, okay? So we're doing our best to keep our low back onto the ground. So feeling an engagement in our core already, perhaps. So hands can go down, flat, pressing against the floor. Our knees can be touching, our feet can be touching. So maybe we'll stay here, keeping our knees at this right angle, pointing our toes, pressing our spine into the floor to engage the core. Maybe for a little extra, we'll begin to lower the feet just so that they touch, and then pull the feet back up. Maybe we don't need to touch, maybe just a little bit back down and then a little bit back up to the top. So it doesn't really matter if you make your feet touch the ground and then bring your knees back up. The object of this is to fire up the core, pull the spine down, keeping our back as flat to the floor as possible. So taking what you need, maybe holding here. We'll take 2 more breaths together. Nice and deep into the lungs, letting it out. 1 more in the nose and letting it go. All right, let go of it. We'll bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. We'll rock side to side on the kidneys, letting go of any tension that we might be feeling in the low back. All right, let's do the shoelace. We've done this maybe just once or twice, but let's cross the ankles, okay? So we're gonna reach on the outsides of our knees and grab a hold of the alternate feet here. And so we're pulling the feet inwards towards the legs, which brings the legs inwards towards the body. So you might feel this stretch in your glute or on the tops of your feet or both. As always, there's no wrong sensation here. We're just stretching and breathing and feeling, okay? So we'll hold here for just a minute, breathing into those tight places. And then let's release. We'll uncross so that we can cross the other way. And again, grab a hold of those feet, squeezing everything up tight into the chest. You might feel something entirely different on this side. But we'll breathe it out. All right, let's let it go. And let's bring the legs out long and flat against the floor. And the hands long and above our heads. We'll just stretch, finding length between the fingers and the toes. Let's wiggle out of the hips, shifting one leg a little bit longer than the other. And then back and forth. All right, let's bring the hands. It doesn't really matter if you want to go arms out at a T or cactus arms, but we're gonna just let the arms hang loose wherever they wanna go. And we're gonna just alternately lift our legs here. So what this is doing is strengthening our psoas muscle so that it helps our mobility. So let's just point both feet. Legs are long and flat against the floor. Now we're just going to lift the right foot, maybe 6 inches above the floor, and then we'll exhale it back down. We'll do the same leg, so lifting right leg nice and pointed, and then exhale it down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling up, exhaling, lower. Choosing your own speed and pace, but we're just concentrating that effort in the right leg only. Let's switch it out. So grounding right leg, left leg lifts 6 or so inches, and then exhale it down. Inhaling it up, exhaling it down. Take a few more. All right, let's bring the knees into the chest again for just a short hug. Notice the difference maybe between knees together versus knees apart. It's a totally different sensation, at least for me. And let's bring the feet up long, so reaching the feet up to the sky this time. So let's activate the feet, flex them and point them. Flex, really reach with the heels, now reach with the toes. Again, heels, and then pointing toes. Now let's flex the feet, bringing just the heels together. We'll turn the toes out. Now let's turn the toes in and heels out. Switch it out. So heels together. Now toes together. Heels once more. And toes. Nice. Let's just separate the legs a little bit so that we can roll the ankles in one direction. let's drop the left leg, let it hang loose. Let's walk the hands up the straight right leg, and we'll stretch it out. Finding stillness or finding a gentle sway. The longer we hold the poses, and as long as we're maintaining a nice deep, slow breath, the more benefit we'll get from the posture. So notice any changes that you might be feeling in this right leg as we stretch it out. Always feel free to give a little bend in the knee or just let your leg come up a little bit more and less towards your face if it's too much. Alright, so we're going to do our figure 4 routine, which we've done a million times. Let's just bring the left foot flat on the mat and then the left knee up to the sky. We'll cross the right ankle over the left knee, and then we'll squeeze this figure 4 into the chest. So grab a hold of that left knee and whatever sort of bind feels best for you. Always finding stillness if that's your jam, or maybe a little rocking motion if that helps you to kind of stretch an array of muscles. So just a few more breaths here. Nice and slow. And let's let go of the bind. We'll keep our legs exactly as they are for just a moment. And just for kicks, we'll press with the right hand, press the right knee away. So keep the right foot flexed here. We're just pressing the right knee away. You might feel this on the outside of your right hip or maybe not at all. I'm not entirely sure. I think that you're very flexible in your hips, so this might do nothing. And we'll let this bind go. So let's begin to straighten out the left leg, and we'll just cross this right leg over the body. So we're finding a supine twist. So we're on to our left hip and then allowing our right leg to fall over to the left side. And let's let the right hand come out to a T or so, or maybe a cactus arm if that feels better. Allowing your chest to be kind of open to the ceiling so that you're getting a fuller twist. It might feel nice to have a pillow under this right leg to prop it up. So take a few moments to settle in. And we'll scan the body, and we'll let go of all of the things that don't need to work right now. So letting go of feet muscles or face muscles. can start integrating into cat pulling its tail. So, if we want to go that route, let's first bend the left leg so that the heel is meeting the glute, or up in that direction. So the right hand's going to reach down and grab a hold of that left foot. Now stay here if you just want to feel a quad stretch on the left leg. If we want to find full cat pulling its tail, we're going to straighten out this right leg and then grab a hold of this right leg with the left hand. So you might be at the calf, or you might be at the ankle, or you might be at the toe. But you are probably feeling this in the IT band on the right side. So we're doing our best to breathe. And we can always come out slowly if we're feeling it too much. And we'll feel it the most if we keep our chest open to the ceiling. Kind of rolling the right shoulder down and back towards the floor. If you don't want the quad stretch, we can gently let go of the right hand and just isolate the IT band. So letting go of left leg and right hand. So just a few more breaths here. And let's gently release, trying not to slingshot our legs back together. We'll just kind of help our right leg come back over to the other side where it's supposed to be. We'll find ourselves realigning the hips and the shoulders and the feet together again. All right. Let's straighten out the right leg this time, and then we'll straighten right leg down to the floor and left leg straight up to the ceiling. We'll walk our hands up the back of the leg, opening up the hamstring on this side the same way we did on the other side. So finding that edge, just knocking on the door of discomfort, but not walking through. Noticing the breath, reclaiming that nice, slow, yogic quality breath where we're breathing in through the belly so that we can allow the muscles, the tight muscles, to open and release. All right, last breath here. Take your time. And our right knee is going to come up to the ceiling. We'll ground the right foot and we'll just cross the left ankle over onto the right knee. We'll bring that figure four into the chest, just like we did. Finding that bind, flexing the left foot so that we can really get into the glute here. Keeping your knee safe. 3 more nice, slow breaths. And we'll release our bind. We'll ground the right foot. And then keeping the left ankle flexed, we'll just press that left knee away. Feeling it, maybe not feeling it. Just for a moment. Alright, let's release this. We'll straighten the right leg out long, and we'll cross the left knee over the body, finding that supine twist, that reclined twist. Moving our pillow if we need to prop up our left knee a little bit. We'll open up the chest up to the ceiling. And we'll let gravity do the work for us. There's really no work that we need to do right now. Soften the feet, soften the knees, soften the belly. Maybe put a little space in between the top and bottom rows of teeth. Letting this be about the spine. So again, we'll ask ourselves if we want to stay here just exactly as we are, or maybe we'll start to invite that cat pulling its tail. So we'll start by squeezing the right heel into the right glute, and then reach around with the left hand and grab a hold of that right foot. So again, peeling the chest open to the sky. We'll feel this stretch most likely in the right quad, okay? Now maybe staying here, or maybe straightening the left leg and then grabbing a hold of that left leg with the right hand for that IT stretch on the left leg. And remembering we can always let go of the right leg entirely and just make it an isolated IT stretch. So many options. But we'll acknowledge those tight places, and we'll imagine our breath going into those places so that they can ease up and let go. Couple more nice slow breaths here. And we'll gently release so that we, with control, come out of it. Finding our way onto our back. And let's find Shavasana. So maybe let's take one more long stretch. So reaching fingers and toes away from each other, making a long line with the body. And then we'll exhale, finding our Shavasana shape of choice. Allowing our bodies to integrate all that we've done today for about a minute of stillness and peace. We'll bring awareness back into the body with some wiggling fingers and toes. And some rolling wrists and ankles. And let's bring the knees into the hug again once more. And then we'll roll onto our favorite side so that we can come back up to that cross-legged seat we started in. And we'll sit up tall, resting hands on the knees or in the lap, and close the eyes, scanning the body again so that we can notice the difference. And let's bring the hands to heart center, pressing thumbs against the breastbone. Let's take a couple breaths together. So filling up through the nose, filling up. Open the mouth and let it go. One more, taking it in. And breathing it out. We'll drop the chin to the chest. Pause for a moment of gratitude for the first thing that wells up. Thank you for joining me again. Thank you for trusting me with my very limited knowledge. Thank you for being my aunt, and I hope you have the best damn day. The light in me humbly honors, sees, and respects the light in you. Namaste.